Good morning, everybody, and once again, welcome back to the channel. In this short example or hands-on lab, I would love to show you how you can leverage Flink with the file system connector. The file system connector allows you to read various types of file, CSV, JSON, Parquet, or any other in general. So using Flink, I'll show you how, using Flink SQL, of course, I'll show you how you can easily read files and then how you can easily upsert them into your target, which is your Iceberg tables. Not only that, we can also use variant data types. So if your input file has varying schemas, you can simply read them as string and then store them as variant in the target. This allows you to not worry about schemas, and then you can query or semi-structured, not unstructured, but semi-structured data with Spark or Flink in general. So with that being said, let's get started with the lab. All right, so the step one is I will show you a quick rundown on the repository itself. So here is a Docker Compose. This Docker Compose file will spin up a bunch of services locally. This allows me to teach you the lab much more efficiently. The first thing I need is some sort of an object store, and for that I'll be using min.io. And on min.io I'll be creating two buckets called warehouse and raw data. This will allow me to store some bunch of data to play with. Okay. Next, I need a catalog. You can use any catalog, Nessie or Glue catalog, but for now I'm using Iceberg REST catalog. This is a Docker image that allows me to do and test things quickly locally. After that, I have my Flink and my task manager, as you can see over here. Now, the most important is the Docker file over here. For this to work, you need to use, I'm using the latest version of Flink, that is 2.1. I'm using the Iceberg version 1.11.0 that allows me to have the variant in general, and the Hadoop version that I'm using is 3.4.2. Now, certain important jar files that you need, and I'm downloading that from Maven. The first one is the Iceberg Flink runtime jar. This allows me to interact with Iceberg in general, and this also supports variant in general. The next one I need is the Hadoop client, right? So that's about that. Then I need the Parquet format and then the S3 file system. So basically, if you have data on S3, this is something you definitely want to have, otherwise it's not going to work. S3 file system plugin, so you need to definitely have these jars over here. Now, certain important notes. So I learned this the hard way because when I was preparing the lab and Flink could not read the data from min.io. I had to set these environment variables, so I'm just calling it out in the video. So again, when you do these labs, right, the most important is these configuration, right? What to set, where to set. These are the things that one should be paying attention in general. Anyway, let's proceed. So once that is there, I'm gonna spin up the stack using Docker Compose up -build -d. This will start all the containers running locally. As you can see, it started. Now I can pretty much head to localhost, I believe 9001. This is where you will see your min.io. If you are prompted with a username password, the username is admin and I think the password is password. You can see the two buckets over here, raw input and warehouse. This is where my Iceberg warehouse would live into. This is where my CDC data from either from Kafka or any other source will basically stay here, or any files that are coming in general. Okay, so now that's that. Now let's take a look at the pipeline in general. So first of all, I think we need some files on like raw data. So I'm gonna use the file called python producer.py. So let me see if I can open up my cursor, or again any ID in general. So okay, gonna come here. Now I'm gonna say python 3 producer.py, and what this does is basically generates a bunch of mock data files for me to play with. If I go to raw input, and here you can see I have some files to play with. So now that I have some file, either JSON, Parquet, now I can learn and leverage how I can leverage Flink to read these files incrementally with checkpoints, and of course write that into the Iceberg. Okay, you can generate more files if you want, but for now it's okay. We just learning the demo, right, in general. So let's go to pipeline.sql. This is where the most important part is. Okay, I'm gonna cover this. So I want to run this job in streaming mode, not the batch mode. So hence the runtime mode is set to streaming. The checkpoint interval is set to 10 seconds. Of course, you can change that. The checkpoint storage. So this is super important, right? So of course, right, like Flink has to read and maintain like state, right, in general. So for example, like what files it processed, and the next time what other new files came, right? So for that checkpoint, I'm going to be using file system, and this is the path where I would like to store the checkpoint. So meaning if the job crashes, or if say, let's say you restart the job, it does not process the same files again, right? It will know from where to start. This one right here is parallelism in general. You can set it to 2 for now for locally, but for based on your data set and how much volume you're processing, you can configure the parallelism in general. This is the name of the pipeline. You can name it anything, but make sure you give a meaningful name. The first thing right here, what we want to do is we are creating a catalog, or also called as a REST catalog. You can see the REST catalog. Again, you can also point it to glue as well. Here you can see the endpoint, and of course the IO implementation is going to be S3 file IO. The endpoint, S3 endpoint. Again, since we are using min.io, we are defining this here. This is the container name, right? But again, if you're using S3 on AWS, I don't think you need to set this because these are like default, right, in general. Warehouse path is something you definitely need, where you want to build your warehouse. So I'm saying that this is a bucket called warehouse. That's where I want to build. After that, I create my catalog. I use the catalog and then I create a database called lab3. After creating a database, as you can see, now this is my input file. I know what are the columns that are coming in the input. For example, event ID, operation, table name, database, payload, event variant. This is just a column which will have some complex data type, and the goal is to store into a variant data type into Iceberg. After that, the most important here, connector is the file system. You provide the path where your input data is coming, the format, and of course, most important is the interval on how you want to monitor it. After that, it comes the Iceberg part. Now we are defining the Iceberg sync. These are a bunch of columns that I want. The most important here is the variant. As you can see, these 2 columns here. Now that's that. Now I define my primary key. This ensures that if there are any duplicates, I don't put duplicates into my Iceberg table in general. I'm using the V3 format, right? And then the write upsert enabled is to 2. So basically run in the upsert mode. And that's about it. And then you have a simple DDL where you say, hey, select these columns from JSON source, because this was our source, as you can see. And then we're going to write that into the sync called CDC events. Again, just an alias, whatever you like, do, And then the most important, don't forget to use parse JSON, because the input is coming as a string JSON. So you need to use the function parse JSON in Flink, which will parse that into a variant and then basically write it into the target table. All right, so the code kind of makes sense to you now at this point, and now I'm going to start the pipeline. So let me do that. Let me see if I have a job. I should not have a job, first of all. So if I go to overview, I can see I do not have any job here. Let's head toward to here, and then let's start the pipeline. Here you can see the Flink SQL client. It is creating my source and the sync and then the DDL, and then my pipeline has to be started. So now if I refresh, lovely, my pipeline is superb. It's running. You can see my JSON file source, and then I can see the Iceberg stream writer, and of course the committer in general. Let's wait, let's restart this pipeline. Okay, it's running now. As you can see, you can also see how many records it's processing. Now, if I were to go to the warehouse bucket, you will also see Flink checkpoints. So if your Flink job crashes or anything happens, it will automatically know from where to start. The checkpoint is there. This is my lab 3. You can see the Parquet files are flowing fantastically. Now you can try to produce some more files with Python producer.py, and very soon you will see Flink processing. So here you can see it's about 150. The checkpoint was like about 5 seconds, I believe. So in 5 seconds, I think this number should change. So let's wait. 1, and let's generate some more. You can see it just changed to 300, right? So yeah, it's working. And if I refresh here, you will see more Parquet files, and you can see, right? If I go to metadata, I can see my Iceberg metadata, the snapshot files, etc., all over here. So yeah, this lab you learned how you can leverage the Flink with any file processing in general. I hope this gives you a good idea. I hope this gives you a good platform to experiment things locally, because to learn anything, the best way is to try, to break, to see how things are going, right? So feel free to download the lab, feel free to tweak, feel free to play with it, feel free to point your favorite LLM and add more functionality, or try different things and learn in general. That's all I have in general for this particular video. I hope you enjoyed. Keep smiling, keep programming, stay safe, and I will see you in the upcoming next video.